Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here on Sunday, June 2nd. It's going to be another hot Georgia day. Bubba and I are just looking at today. He's waiting for his friend the Blue Jay and to see how the rest of the week will go before he announces his big, he's got to get dolled up to announce running for president under tap. But I wanted to do a video today. I got, wow, 44 of you actually emailed me. And there was no nasty notes in there. Oh man, you guys are watching my videos more than I thought, huh? I'm surprised you didn't put any comments on the video over there, but 44 people were all saying the same thing. And it's kind of interesting. They said, you seem to know what you're talking about, and we don't understand impeachment. Can you explain how to go about to impeach President Trump if you were to do it? Because the Democrats don't seem to have an idea, and they're not saying anything to us. And they want us on board. How do you get the American people on board? Well, let me sit back and answer all your questions there. And neither one of you 44 wanted me to put names on the video, so I'm going to honor your request and not do it. I know this is a sensitive subject. So here we go. To answer your questions, impeachment of a president is a very touchy situation. It's neither criminal nor political. It's just to remove the president from the office that you guys have duly elected him. And the reason it's called political, and I explained that in another video by Chief Justice John Marshall, he meant political in the different terms because it meant differently back in his time. It meant the person that got appointed or to an office by another person. You didn't get elected, and that's what he meant by political. A president, of course, you say is elected, but no, really it's appointed because of the Electoral College. It's not the popular vote that gets the president, it's the Electoral College that appoints the president. There's a difference there, and I don't think you Americans quite understood your system on that. But to be that as it may, okay. Say if you wanted to impeach President Trump, and I'm using Watergate as a example here, okay. Number one, when Archibald Cox was appointed as Watergate, a special counsel to look into the Watergate break-in, that was considered a break-in. There was no link to the president at the time. Same with the appointment of Robert Mueller to the Russia investigation. President Trump wasn't in office yet, and it was considered to see if Russia had meddled in the U.S. election of 2016. Okay. To proceed to President, say President Trump became president on January 20th, 2017. Now, if you want to impeach him, you can't go backwards. You have to go to what happened on January 20th, 2017 and forwards. And this is what Chairman Nadler and House Speaker Pelosi and all those other Democrats that are clamoring for impeachment and those Republicans that are now clamoring for impeachment don't understand. You can't turn the clock back. It's only when he became president. And that's where you go and start the thing. And now, also, let me explain that each one of the participants in impeachment is like a superhero, okay? You have powers. And you guys that, comic books, you remember your Marvel and DC comics. Superman had a kryptonite that was his one weakness. Green Lantern had the ring that was his power and his weakness. So if you're going to impeach a president, you got to find its weakness, and you got to know what the weakness of you guys are and the other part of the government, say judiciary, executive, and legislative. The legislative has powers. They got torpedo power, otherwise known as the subpoenas, which the Democrats have used as the Enterprise would use their photon torpedoes. Fire, full spread! And that's what they're doing. And they're not hitting anything. And that's their mistake. A subpoena is supposed to be used as a knife. Once you find something, you hit it and hit it in the heart. But they're not doing that. Okay, the president has executive privilege, which is a shield. But the shield only can last so long. And if you fire a lot of those photon torpedoes to a certain area, you can deplete the shield. Democrats didn't understand that here. They've never done that. So this is why. So in the case of President Trump, say he became president January 20th, 2017, the first weakness in his armor was when he went right to his travel ban. Number one, it caused him to look bad to the American people. Number two, he went ahead and attacked the acting Attorney General. He didn't even wait to get his people in. He went right off the bat. And of course, Sally Yates, and this is not being political, she was acting as Attorney General, not as an Obama holdover. This is what President Trump doesn't understand. So he fired her because she refused to follow his order, and he found somebody else that did it. And of course, you know, the courts there threw out his travel ban. Not only his first one, but his second one. So those should be considered as evidence. But the big evidence is, when he did that, there's where the subpoena should go. First, you should, Chairman Nadler, when he became chairman in January 2019, should have gone to a federal district judge and say, was that firing legal or illegal? That would have constituted a high crime if she was fired illegally, as in Archibald Cox in the case of Richard Nixon. The next thing, in Richard Nixon's case, the tapes. They were under the executive privilege. But remember, when the Judiciary Committee found out that the tapes were there, they went after Judge Sirica and issued a blanket subpoena a first time. And of course, President Nixon said, "Who? This is executive privilege." So, sorry about that. But then again, on the plumber situation, when Archibald Cox found out that some of the members of the plumbers were associated with the CIA and under H.R. Haldeman, which was the chief of staff of Richard Nixon, which he had to resign. So, you know, it's a big time there. That caused the subpoenas to be more precise. And they wanted the tapes for that. And Judge Sirica was a tough judge. So Nixon, under the Supreme Court, had no choice but to give the tapes away. And he knew there was a problem because when he gave all the tapes, there was more there than that. And the big thing that got him was the 18.5-minute gap that got him. What happened in those 18.5 minutes? Nobody will ever know. Rosemary Woods took it to her grave. But also, and this is the biggie, Trump's version of the tapes is his tweets. So Chairman Nadler didn't bother to go to a federal judge like they did for Sirica over there and say, hey, does these tweets qualify under the First Amendment? Don't they violate people's amendments when he's really diminishing their character and talking nasty about them? This is the President of the United States. He's held to a higher standard than a normal person. And plus, tweets as a social media has not been gone to the Supreme Court and ruled whether they're constitutional or not. This is a small sample. I don't have much time to do this, so I hope you guys understand. If you want a part 2, just email me again. This is your favorite alien, signing off.